Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's after 3. Oh, just 3. 2:55. How are you? Hey, I'm in the same clothes and in the car. If you know, you know. Just kidding. I don't even know if this is the same shirts I had on the day I made that video about a solution to a problem. I don't know. But I had to get gas, and it's cheaper over here in front of Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's right there. I didn't go in Hobby Lobby. I got gas, and before that I stopped at AutoZone to get a price check on the wheel bearing and the hub. It comes as a kit, two pieces, because I am 100% sure that by now I need to replace the hub too. The driving is getting really bad. The noise from that front tire is really loud, and the wheel just shakes. And I'm worried about the wheel locking up, the brakes locking up, the wheel falling off. And I have more appointments coming up in Plano, and so I need to get it fixed. So I went to AutoZone to get a price, and then I went to O'Reilly's, and it's about the same. And the other day I looked on Amazon, and I think it was cheaper on Amazon. I think it was. While I was looking on Amazon, though, you know, these phones and everything track everything that we look up. A whole list of the wheel bearing and hub kit popped up, and I clicked on one because it showed $52 or $53, and I clicked on it, and I was reading it to make sure that it was for the right car, the driver's side front, and that it was the 2 parts. And it was, and all that. And then it turned out to be an eBay thing. So I don't have an eBay account. Well, then I just went down that rabbit hole of looking for the parts and the cheapest thing, and then it took me to other types of Toyotas. Mine is a Toyota Scion XB, and everything that was coming up after that eBay one was Toyota Prius and all the Toyota Celica, all these other things. And so later on today I needed to go back and look at the Amazon one, and then check that eBay one, and check my funds that are put away for, car repair. Let's see. Really, the biggest expense is going to be buying the part, I'm pretty sure, because the landlord's handyman did tell me before if I bought the part, he would put it on. He's also a backyard mechanic, and he didn't want no money. But I always try to give him something when he does anything on my car, which isn't, that often. And he loves fresh eggs, so I can always give him eggs plus a few dollars. The thing is, I'm under a nice shade tree that I have to share now with someone else, but that's okay. Hey, God owns the shade trees. The thing will be nailing him down to do it, but it will be a lot cheaper than a garage, and even cheaper than my mobile mechanic friend, who is even kind of hard to get because he works another job. Oh, all baby steps. That's what I keep telling myself. Baby steps, baby steps. research the most affordable place to get the parts, and then get the parts. Might as well replace the hub while whoever's down there replacing the wheel bearing. I'm sure that the hub needs to be replaced. That's as far as I can go. If I was loaded with money, I'd fix the rotors too. I'm not hearing a grinding, but I know enough that if you get a very bad wheel bearing like I have and a messed up hub, it does affect the rotor. Whew. Anyway, thank God for a car. I mean, you have to have a car here. Now, I brought something to show you. I have mentioned that I wanted to make me a bucket hat out of granny squares, out of my cotton scraps. I have this arthritic compression glove that I took off when I pumped gas, and I got it inside out. But I've been having an awful flare-up with that inflammatory arthritis / degenerative joint or bone, whatever, in my fingers. So I slept with this compression glove last night and got up. When I woke up this morning, my hand felt much better. And then I did things, and then I put the glove back on, and then I got gas, so then I took the glove off, and now I got it inside out, and I'm struggling to turn it the right way. But anyway, okay, so I've been wanting to make a bucket hat for me out of granny squares, out of my scrap cottons. And one day I went through a bag of scrap cottons to separate them from the I love this cotton from the other cotton that's a little heavier. I want to make it out of this I love this cotton because this is Texas. And I was going to like make it all different kinds of variegateds, every square different. And I talked about this in that video I did when I think, I showed you some of the variegated when I did the video on the solution to the problem. So I've started it, and I'm not following any kind of pattern. I Googled some images, and I'm going by that because it's pretty simple. You know, I know how to make a granny square. I know how to join them together. But this, from pictures I saw, the crown, I didn't want a granny square crown. I like the crown that has the 5 sides. I was calling it a hexagon the other day, but that is 6 sides. So I don't know what shape this is. And I'm thinking I need to do another row. And I didn't measure this, but here it is in colors that I, grabbed out of my scrap. Those 2 rows of variegated are 2 different kinds of variegateds, but they really flow together. And this last row is, it looks like the gray maybe to you, but it's not. It's a green. And I found the label, Serene Spa. I love this cotton, and I love that color, Serene Spa. This last row. This beginning, it's like a terracotta, but I don't think that's the name of it. And then those 2 variegateds, I don't know. So this is the crown, but like I say, I think I have to do another row. And I think I'm gonna do the next row. I have a olive green that I pulled out of my stash, my scraps. This is just scraps. Olive green, and then another color that it reminds me of periwinkle. Now, earth tones are my color palette, and that's basically what this is. But periwinkle is my favorite color, and I did find I had some leftover yarn that that would pass as periwinkle, which can also be included as an earth tone if you think of the ocean, maybe, even though it's in the purple family. So that's the crown. I think I got to add another row, but if I add another row to the crown, I have to add another row to the 5 granny squares that will go around. Then and I don't know if 5 rows will be too big. I'm using a G-hook, but here's one granny square. I got all the ends. I have 3 granny squares done. I don't have them with me. And I did measure this last night, and I forget how big it is. I think this is 4 inches. And so, you know, it will attach. I think it will be neat like this, but there'll be 5. And then I'll do some kind of border or brim. It won't be nothing frilly. My shirt, I got 2 shirts on, but this one, I went into church Thursday night, right? And I'm walking in the church, and I get to the door to go in. We have a glass door. We always have someone on the other side of the door inside the church to open the door for people and welcome them in. And if it's visitors, we have what would you call that? Like a gift bag or a guest bag, and I don't even know what's in it because I'm a member. I'm not a visitor or a guest, but I think it has mints in it and just several different things. And so they're right there on a table. And so when people come to visit, you know, the person at the door welcomes them in and gives them one of those bags, which is very nice, very welcoming. So I was going in, and as I got to the door, right before the lady opened the door for me, I just happened to look down at my reflection in the glass, and my right pant leg was caught up in my sock. I never would have known that had I not seen my reflection. She may have told me, because when she saw me looking down and she opened the door, I told her, I said, oh, I wasn't paying attention to the door being open. I noticed that my pant leg got caught up in my sock. And she said, I saw you looking down, and then I saw what you were looking down at, and I told her, we were laughing. I said, you know what? There's no telling how I come to church dressed. Mostly because my shirts, ever since the major shoulder replacement, or reconstruction, actually, that's what the all the paperwork says, is reconstruction, not replacement. They had to reconstruct everything. But ever since then, my shirts on the left side, even if it's a button-up dress shirt like for church, I can never get it on right. You know, men's shirts, the back, some of them have that seam that run along, you know, like when you're ironing. And I mean, I get dressed. It takes me a while to get dressed. I get dressed and I look in the mirror, and everything on this side is cockeyed. So I told her, I said, there's just no telling how I come to church dressed most of the time because of that problem with shirts. And she said, you know what, brother? We wouldn't even notice. She's funny. I think I have to do another row. Well, if I do another row on the crown and do another row on my granny squares, then it won't be so tight on my head. That's the whole point, you know, to have some air. So let me know what you think of these colors so far. Now this one, this second row of variegated, it's showing some purple. But on this one, the second row, it's showing the terracotta color. It's all from the same ball, which means it came from the same skein, which is neat. I love variegateds. So I brought that to show you. And what was I gonna tell you? I'm just gonna be honest. Of course I am. I'm just having an awful time concentrating today. Just not feeling good. I don't feel sick to my stomach. It's just a flare up in the spinal cord problem, and then that triggers off the arthritis, I guess, and that both of those pain problems trigger off the chronic fatigue. In fact, this morning, I was up, my feet on the floor, about 5:40. By 6 o'clock, I was out letting those chickens out, tending to them. Then I went in and I tended to Sadie and Monster, went back out, tended to Miss Kitty and put out some food for the feral cats, went back in, did a few other things, and then I felt like I need to go back and lay down. And I usually don't do that in the morning. I am a morning person. But I went back and laid down. Do you know I fell asleep for almost 2 hours? And I slept pretty good last night. But this morning, boy, I was struggling. I'm still struggling. When I took this compression glove off, I should have taken it off by the fingers and not undo it by the wrist. Can you see what I did? I don't know maybe if I try to put it on. I don't know what that person next to me thinks I'm doing. I'm over here talking and holding things up to my windshield. They can't hear me because obviously they have air conditioning. They're letting their car run while they're in it. Show-offs. I'm kidding. One day my air conditioning will work, but what good is air conditioning if you got a tire that fell off or your wheel locked up? Oh, I think I almost got it. I have. So what are you all working on? Okay, got that one. Big Daddy, I think, is feeling better. He's out of the coop and not just sticking around that one part of the chicken yard. That's what he was doing. He'd come out of the coop and then he'd stick around just one part of the chicken yard all by himself. I'm gonna put this on. I have 2 of these compression gloves, and these really do help me. My hand is so swollen that it's hard to. Yep, that will help. Yeah, I think that Big Daddy is starting to almost feel like himself. I wish I could hear him crow. He hasn't crowed that I know of. Tomorrow's church, and Thursday the pastor did say that this Sunday, even though it's Father's Day and we're just going to have the morning service and then food after, where we are going to go ahead and have Sunday school. And so it is my Sunday to teach. And I don't I don't know if I'll be staying after for food. I thought that bird was gonna fly in. Some other friends of mine that live in Plano, they had texted during the week and mentioned maybe getting together Sunday afternoon just to visit and catch up on life, since I don't have church Sunday night, and I would like to do that. And so waiting for confirmation. We'll see. Really, this is about it. When I go home, I'm gonna give everyone fresh water, and I'm gonna work on my bucket hat. I think I'm gonna add the olive color. Either color will go good with that Serene Spa. That's a shade of green. But I think I'm gonna go with the olive green. Yeah. And no idea what I'm gonna cook today. No idea. I know that I don't have to go to the grocery store, which is a good thing. I've been drinking a lot of extra water, which is good. My blood sugar this morning was 122, which is good. And I wasn't shaky, which is even better. So the endocrinologist, the diabetes doctor, you know, when I went to that appointment, I told you I got sick while I was there because my blood sugar had gone down, not to a dangerous number. It was 80 something or 90 something. But, you know, I told her when it gets down to that, with the, what they consider a normal range, when my blood sugar gets down to that range, I get sick. Or I get a sick feeling, but I do get shaky. And that's when she said, go to the store and buy a bag of jelly beans. And when I feel that way, just have two, that it will bring my sugar up. And it would help, but I didn't do that. She also did say, as time goes on, my body will get adjusted to my blood sugar being in good numbers. You know, it's just so used to being high for so long. Now yesterday, oh, you're still here. Yesterday I went to Kroger to pick up a prescription of an insulin. Oh, that was a nightmare, which I was so disappointed. And I told the pharmacist in a nice way, I said, I hope that you're not turning into not her, the pharmacy at Kroger. I said, I hope this is not going to turn into a CVS kind of pharmacy where they never have your medicine. It's poor communication. They text you and tell you they have it, and you go down there and then they don't. And then even when your doctor calls or the doctor's nurse calls, it's just, we're waiting on the truck. We're waiting on the truck. Even when they say we got a truck out there and things should be unloaded and tomorrow your medicine should be ready, that didn't happen. If you've followed me, you know the nightmares that I had with CVS. And things at Kroger have been much better, but this other insulin that the endocrinologist wants me to take before lunch, there's a shortage on it. And there was the lady pharmacist and then the man technician that was helping me, and then he got busy going to the drive-through window, so the lady pharmacist came over to me. They're gonna get hot in their car, they just shut it off. And she was checking other Krogers that, you know, are around to see if they had it, and they didn't. And she was checking to see if there was any kind of note in the computer from the medical company to the pharmacy of when it'd be available. There's a shortage on it. And there wasn't. And then something popped up on her file. She said, oh, something just popped up. It says we have 2 of the pen needles in our refrigerator here. She said, I can give you the 2, but you'd have to pay, like if I was giving you the full the full prescription of these, which is like around $5 because my insurance covers the majority of it. And I said, well, I better do that. I mean, we don't know when it's going to be available. I better do that. So it's not Ozempic because I know a while back, I guess there was a shortage on Ozempic. I think last year, the year before, the diabetes doctor tried me on Ozempic, and twice I ended up in the emergency room because of abdominal pain and issues. And come to find out, she ended up taking me right off. She said, you have gallbladder issues, and this is affecting your gallbladder. Well, my gallbladder issue was my gallbladder was full of stones, but as you know, they never took that out until February, when I almost died from it being so full, and actually my gallbladder died, and that big piece of tissue next to it died. That's why I got that sepsis. So Ozempic did nothing for me except land me in the ER. This one insulin is, you know what? I can't remember. She's changed it a few times because of the insurance. So I know the one that is that's on shortage, that she wants me to take before lunch, begins with an F. Yeah, but I don't know the name. So at least I have those 2 though. Me and the pharmacist are hoping that those will get me through to whenever they're available. So I think I'm gonna go. Let me know, please, what you think of my squares. And what is this shape? You know, I should know. I work with kids and they know all the shapes. And what is the shape that has 5 sides? But that's going to be the crown. And that's my plan for the day, is to take care of animals and then work on that. I don't think I'll finish it today because of my hand, but I do want to get another row on them. I want to see that olive color with these, and I want to see the size. Let's put the seatbelt on. Oh, sorry about that beeping. This is a beautiful tree. Thank you, Jesus. There's a very nice tree over there, but I guess there is a parking space under it. That would be a nice tree to sit, you know, if the Hobby Lobby employees, because it's right at Hobby Lobby, had a picnic table or a bench. I'm gonna show it to you. Let's see. You see that? Oh, let's see, that tree. Where is it? Yep, that one. Look how nice it is. Nice shade tree. That's Hobby Lobby. And I'm way over here because I don't need nothing. Okay, whew. I'm gonna let you go and I'll talk to you later.